Welcome back to Lit Laugh Lounge, where we laugh, we lounge.
You'll notice we haven't changed, and it is exactly because of the fact that we literally did just binge 5 chapters after we finished recording.
We're really excited about this book.
Very much
for
so.
Sure.
Chapters 11 through 15. These are some turning points here, people. These are some turning points. So, I forgot what happened in the last chapters. I was like, did I write down the wrong chapters? No. So chapter 11, Reese is like, you look really bad right now. And he's like, do they not feed you? And then they have a little sit-down conversation where he's like, please eat with me. And she's giving nothing because she feels nothing at all. She is simply a void of pain.
Dissociating.
And just not having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
totally fair, though.
Yeah, she's not chilling. She's very upset. The next day, Reese has her right and shield, and she surprises him because she has been practicing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it tries to like smash into her mind, and she's like, bounces off of it. And he goes, oh, you've been practicing, and she goes, nothing else to do. And he's like, oh, skitters off.
She also learned how to read.
Yeah, she'd be reading
Mostly.
Yeah. Reese tries to do therapy with her. He like riles her up so much that she tries to ice him, and then she tries to burn him. So you know what? If it works, it works, I guess, King. So then she returns to the spring court, and Tamlin is all angry. He's like,
get inside.
So get inside, and it's like, girl, okay. And then she gets inside, and Reese is like, don't listen to him.
Way to talk to your wife.
The way that I went outside.
The way that I went outside when I read that line,
I was basking in the sun.
They were outside, which is why I went outside to scream.
And then he has another interrogation of Feyre where he's like, so what is all this stuff looking like? And she gives him all the information, and then the guards come back full force. Next day, she is completely surrounded by people at all times. She summons Claus when she sees Lucien because Lucien scares her, and he has red hair, and a certain someone also had red hair, so every time she sees him, she like goes into slight cardiac arrest. Mm-hmm. So she manifests claws that are actually Tamlin's claws, and then he's like, you with me to the principal's office, and they run upstairs, and then he's like, so I'll talk to him about training you because your powers are gonna show up either way. It's just either you're gonna know how to use them, or you're going to hurt someone or yourself. Mm-hmm. And then he tries to have a conversation with Tamlin about it. And the fuck-ass bitch that he is yells at my man, because Ianthe's there, and she's like, no, we can't train her.
Are
She's
they fucking?
Low-key,
are they fucking? They'll use her for breeding.
Yeah, they're like, if she gets caught, she'll use her for breeding.
I don't like
if we have the advantage of knowing that she has powers, and it's like, girl, they're gonna catch her because she doesn't know how to fucking use them. Anyway, so like, Lucien's like, trying to get Tamlin to listen to him, and he's like, no, like, he's saying all the points that I just said, where he's like, it's gonna manifest anyway, like, we need to give her a chance to defend herself, blah, 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 blah. And then Tamlin shuts him up with some big whoosh of power, and it scares the shit out of Lucien. Because the next day, when Feyre is finally, like, she has this, like, burst of, like, agency, and she's like, I don't care that the people at the village don't want my help, I'm going to help someone, I'm going to go do something, I need to get something done. And so she goes up to Tamlin and Lucien. She's going to go into the study because they're having a meeting, and they burst through fully armed. And she's like, where y'all going? And they're like, we have some things to handle. And she's like, can I come with you? And
no.
Tamlin's like, no. And then she's like, well, like, I'll stay hidden. Like, I just need to come with you. I need to get out of this house. And he's like, you would just be a burden because you have these powers that you don't know how to use. Wonder why she doesn't know how to use them. And then he walks outside, and she's like, no, let me come. And then he puts up a wall, and she can't get through it. And Lucien is outside, pale as fuck, very confused, aghast yet again. And he's like trying to calm her down. He's like, but he has business to attend to. But he's like trying to calm her down. He's like, don't try and fight it. You're gonna hurt yourself. Like, I'm gonna talk to him again for you. Like, I'm gonna try again because that's all he can do. And then both Tamlin and Lucien winnow away and leave Feyre to collapse and have a complete panic attack where she starts just clawing at the walls, and then she starts manifesting this power, and she wraps herself in like darkness and just like ice and fire and all this stuff. And Alice is like, I can't help you, I can't touch you. And then a girl shows up, and she's like, you are so lucky that we are here to take her off your hands. And she pulls her up by her bootstraps and like carries her off into the woods. And she's like, the guards will be fine. I just knocked them out. And it's more and more, walks and walks and walks. And she takes her over into a different court. And then Reese ends there. He scoops her up. And the next thing you know, we are in a town. Nope, we are in the same night court place. And then he's like, hey. And she's like, I feel like dying.
She's just
Yeah.
casually suicidal.
She's like, I feel like dying. And then he's like, you can stay here as long as you want. You can stay here forever. You do not have to go back to there. And she's like, I don't want to go back. And so then Reese is like, I have business to attend to, but I'll be back. And she's like, can I come with you? And then he's like, if you come with me, you cannot utter anything to anyone you know, any of your friends, to Tamlin, to anyone. Whenever you see them again, you cannot tell them about this. Which, again, comes back to the thing from before where he only was telling her things that he wouldn't mind Tamlin hearing. So then she's like, okay, it's fine. Like, I will not tell anyone. I promise. I cannot be here. And so then they go to Valeris in the townhouse. And the townhouse is all cute. And it's a home. It's not a house. It's a home. Very white girl of him.
Mm-hmm.
He makes his house a home. And there's two dudes banging on the door going, bitch ass, let me in. And then Feyre's like, what the fuck? And he's like, so you can go upstairs if you want. Or you can meet them. But you might want to go upstairs because they're kind of a lot. And she's like, okay, I'll go upstairs. And then he's upset about it. So she goes upstairs with Carrie Wynn and Nuella, her little dudes. And they go upstairs. And then the two very loud men break in, Asriel and Cassian. And there's one little tiny mean lady next to them. Her name's Amarin. And then Moore shows up and they're all having a conversation. And then
they're my children, actually.
where's breakfast? That literally would not happen because they're like 500 years old.
They're my children.
Definitely way older than 500. At least Amryn.
Oh, I wasn't talking about her.
I birthed them.
Where am I?
Actually, I've known them for 2 pages and I like them.
Oh, so then she's back in her room with Nuella and Carrie Wynn. She's like, so, where are we? And they're like, Valeris, and they're talking, and they're like, why wasn't this place, like, destroyed by Amarantha? And they're like, we don't want to tell you that. And she's like, why did Reese order you not to tell us? And they're like, no, it's a personal thing. You're going to want to hear it from him. And then she goes to bed, and then 4 hours later, they go on a little walkie walk throughout the city, and she's pissed. She's peeved that there are people just living their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what the fuck, brother? Everyone died because of Amarantha. Like, cities were destroyed, families were burnt down, and these people are just chilling. She's like, you're pampered little people. And Reese is like, girl, don't talk to me like that.
I was about to throw fucking hands. I was like, bitch, I know you're not complaining about these people living their lives calmly.
He goes, girl, my people are blameless. You can blame me, don't blame my people. And she goes, oh, okay.
What a good High Lord.
She's like, that's
You know who isn't a good High Lord? Her fiance.
No longer.
Fiance, now.
But
Good riddance.
then he takes her to the artist quarter, and he's like, this is what we're known for, and these are the ships, and these are the pottery studios, and this is this. And she's like, oh, I hate this. I'm leaving. I'm tired. So she walks up the stairs, and they get into a whole tussle. They tussling. And then she's like, I'm tired. And she runs away. Oh, at some point, she like snaps into his mind because she says, she's like, I want to die. And he goes, no, you don't. He goes, don't say
like,
that.
Don't even think that.
Yeah. And then she steps into his mind, sees herself, goes, damn, I look bad. Haggard. And then she's like, I'm tired. And then they go to dinner, and she's in a dress, and she should not be flying in a dress. And he scoops her up, and they fly on over to dinner, and they have this little game that they play where she's like, I give you a thought, you give me a thought. And he's like, I'm thinking that I should have been the one to kill Amarantha, that, like, I might not experience something like this in a very long time. And then she's like, I think that I was an idiot. And then they have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end.
And two winged males are like grinning at them behind.
Because they're going to have dinner with his besties, his inner circle.
His best friends. It's literally your best friends forming a club together to rule the world. It's kind of
Your best friend's like ruling
Befwen.
a territory. It's crazy.
So we'll start back up with chapter 11, Reese convincing her to do therapy.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that he genuinely encourages her to, like, push him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we're going from the explosive fight that Tamlin got really upset and angry when, like, she was, like, pushing him on something.
Mm-hmm.
Going from that to Reese being like, ask me why. Like, please push me on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Like he
He's
genuinely
like, I
wants,
want you to be interested.
like I want you to argue. I want you to show like interest. I want you to, because he acknowledges that she has depression. What a king.
Mm-hmm. She's
Rather-
scarred.
And he's like, just argue. Like rather than blindly agree. Like even if you argue and he's right and she's just arguing for the sake of arguing, at least like she'll be able to see his perspective, which is such an important part about falling in love. I don't think a lot of people talk about. Like, yes, like even if you're arguing because you disagree on something, you can come to an agreement if you argue. Like if you like allow yourself to be like
To voice your opinions.
to voice your opinion. But if you're just being like, okay, fine, yeah,
Whatever.
whatever you say.
She was very passive for a minute there because she was, depressed.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, Pookie. It's okay. I don't know. That whole scene is very, very interesting to me.
It's actually quite sad.
It's very sad
Yeah, I was
because
like, oh.
she's giving nothing because she feels absolutely
I was like-
nothing.
I was like, you're giving nothing, but like in a different way than you didn't give nothing in the first book.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally giving me nothing.
She's giving us, actually, I'm a terrible person and I want to die.
I was
Nothing.
like, oh, the suicide.
Mm-hmm. But she has been practicing her skill set, her reading, and her shielding. Very good for her. She boinged freaking Reese's brain right off hers.
I kind of really wish
Boing.
we would have seen that.
Oh, and she even slipped into his brain at one point.
That's
And
like,
Reese was like,
yes.
what the fuck? How'd you do that?
Girl, he goes, how did
He
you
ex-
get past my shield?
He explains it as like, maybe it's because I gave you the magic, and because my mind recognized my magic, so that's.
But if we would remember, she did that before he got his magic.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know why? No. But,
I know why.
and I love that for you because I genuinely don't.
No, I have suspicions.
Well, I mean, she did it to Lucian, so it's not just like a specific
No, but
to the-
after she had her before she had her powers. Under the mountain. When she watches herself die.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I have suspicions. I'm saying it with the like I had something once.
I
Like
had something once.
I have suspicions. Are they right? Probably not, but they're there.
Her freaking shooting ice at him, like having her whole Ethan from Crescent City moment or
Oh my
whatever,
God, that was so random.
and then
she's so funny.
and then burning him. She's like, she's both hot and cold.
He literally tells her to take it out on him. He's like, "Go ahead, you can do it. You can do it. I
He's
don't
like,
really
I'm
care.
strong enough to stop you.
Yeah, chilling.
Whatever, just do whatever you want to do to deal with it." He's like, "Just hit me." I'm like, "Okay."
Girl.
Why do I find this a little attractive? I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I can take it."
Pookie Bear.
See, you know who can't take it? Tamlin. Tamlin wouldn't be able to take it, but you know who could?
Nah, because he got knocked out from a punch to the stomach.
Yeah, pathetic, bro. Like, stand up, dude.
And
Get
like,
your money up.
Tamlin also just had no personality. He had no interest.
He plays the lute.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
Get over it.
I'm pretty sure Reese probably plays a few instruments though. He's got to play at least a couple.
He probably plays the
Okay.
piano. Every dark-haired emo kid plays the piano.
literally.
He can play the Black Parade.
He like shares his trauma.
In that scene?
Yeah. And she goes,
Oh, yeah, where he's, yeah.
and she goes, "I'm just gonna keep eating." And I was like, okay.
She's like, these tarts, she's damn good.
I've only got enough trauma in my head right now for one. I cannot do two people.
And he just confessed. He was like, I was, what is it? Taken, used sexually.
Oh, it was tortured, beaten, and fucked.
I was like tortured, beaten, and fucked for the last 50 years. Okay, and then she goes, "I don't have anything to say to that, so I'm just gonna."
She goes, damn.
She goes, give me that tartlet.
She goes, "Damn, that's tough."
Anyways.
Anyways, moving on from him. Oh, and then when they returned to the Supreme Court.
I'm sorry. I made a comment. I was like, the way that she just ignores his trauma, but it's not even because she can't handle it. It's because she doesn't want to break the tentative peace she has with Tamlin right now, or she had right now, because she and Tamlin had peace at some point. And she was like, she's like, in case I go back, like I don't want to like ruin it by being like, oh, like I'm
Being
on your
pitying
side.
him,
yeah,
yeah.
like pitying him because it wouldn't work. So she doesn't want to break. She's so just. Oh my god, what is? The book is over there.
Sorry.
She says something along the lines. She's like, I don't want to like break what we have.
Yeah.
with him, or like betray trust.
But I think specifically with Reese, it's more of she doesn't want to like, because if she sympathizes with him, it makes him like on the same level as her, and she can no longer like view him as the enemy. And so I think it's why she's like struggling to not like accept that he is also
Well, yes, that, but it's also, she said it in the book.
Yeah.
She was like, I just can't because of Tamlin. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, they're a little too similar.
Who?
Reese and Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like,
Oh.
as I was reading, I was like, oh, you guys are the same. Like, kindred spirits. Or soulmates, some would say.
You're saying it,
Mm-hmm.
not me.
I say it.
Hey,
Hey, I was right about the love poem. I was right about the love riddle, and I was right about Tamlin being evil because he is evil. This is a form of evil, and I don't like the way you look at me. That's not the way you look at me from the camera. Yeah, they're mates.
the look.
They're soulmates. Oh no.
The Angie Tamlin, get inside.
Get
inside.
I was so angry. What do you mean, get inside? Who the fuck do you
Get
think
inside.
you are? Who the fuck do you
In
think
the
you
car.
are? You pasty ass bitch. You're blonde and you think you have any power over this girl? I was. No offense. I was.
One day he'll dye his hair, and then you won't have that to use against him.
Well, I'd like him more if he was right. You know, I was kind of imagining. You know that guy from Wings Club?
Oh,
Cartoon?
really?
Which
Like
one?
Sky?
No. Like the teacher.
Oh, Palladium.
Oh,
Honestly,
Loki?
That's kind of what I was imagining Tamlin as.
a
You
less,
should insert
a
a
less
picture of
studious, more bulk version
Yeah,
of
but that's
Palladium.
that's
yeah.
kind of what I was imagining. Anyways, I could be way off. That's kind of what I was picturing. It was just, I don't know. The Springboard aesthetic matches Winx Club's vibe.
He's like a cartoon version of Orlando Bloom. Is Legolas in my brain, but
Ooh.
cartoon version, and not Orlando Bloom.
Legolas.
No, you're correct. Anyways.
And then they have the second interrogation, and the guards are back. Oh, when I read the guards were back, I was like, no.
No.
And then the
And
sentries are
he was,
posted
it was
outside.
full force too.
Yeah.
Like armed to a T.
They're
like,
outside her door. They're outside her window. They're
I
out on
felt
the walks.
suffocated. I was reading this shit and I was like, oh my god, I feel like everybody is just crowding her for no reason.
Mhm.
And also, the villainizing of Reese to me makes no sense. Everyone's like, he's such an awful person. Okay, well, that awful person tried to save your fiance, which you didn't do, BTW. But
He
anyway.
kills people.
Oh no, the horror. I wonder what Tamlin is doing.
Also killing people, but
Yeah.
Rhysand has
I mean,
a reputation for killing
Reese
people.
has dark hair, and so we must villainize him.
Yeah, but like it's more of a thing where it's just like everyone has just told her he's the enemy, so she has like no choice.
No,
but to
not
believe it.
her villainizing him. Other people villainizing
Yeah.
him. Yes, she doesn't like him right now because. Well, I don't want to say she doesn't
Well,
like him.
he
but,
is
like,
a villain.
But,
Yeah,
like,
he does some
he's
fucked up.
bad.
He's done
I
some
know
fucked up
he's
stuff.
fucked up and stuff, but like at the same time, it's just like no one's good.
Yeah, but he's especially dark.
Yeah, I mean, I figured.
Yeah.
Book one did not do. I don't like him so. Like I like him far more than I like Tamlin right now.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like him all that much.
He's still like
Nesta is still winning like the character like award thing in my head.
he's just he does some bad things, Mr. Rhysand, and I am chill with these bad things because fictional people don't matter to me, but most people are not chill.
Well, he
with
is
his bad
morally
things.
gray. Kind of the
Supposed to
thing.
be.
morally dim, if you will.
Yeah, like I.
And then she summons Claus at Lucian. Crazy. Mr. Lucian taking her to the principal's office, going, come on, upstairs,
Mhm.
upstairs.
Mhm. Let's go.
And poor Lucian, he's just, the entire time, he's like, I'll talk to Tamlin. It's not working, buddy. It's not working. You cannot talk to him. He is a brick wall. That is a brick wall of a man right
He's
there.
desperately trying to fix things between him and Farah, and then it's like not working. Like Salmon isn't putting in any effort.
Yeah, like that's one of like the biggest things I just don't understand is like why he did not give her an ounce of anything. Like, because
Go, girl, give us nothing!
I'm still just on like self-defense. Really, like you won't even teach her how to like block herself from getting stabbed. Like,
Literally.
not even that. Like that's insane. And then he's like, I don't have the time to train her. Okay, let Lucian do it.
Yeah, Lucian obviously wants to.
He's like
Yeah.
volunteering left and right.
freaking
like,
Iampy.
He won't tell her anything. And like she's begging to be told. Like she literally begs. She's like, please just tell me anything. Literally anything. Just tell me something. And he doesn't tell her anything. She's not invited to the meetings. She's not invited to whatever they're talking about. Him and that like bitch, what's the name? Ianthe. They're talking in like whispers, and then they're like, okay, Farrah's in the room. We can't talk about it anymore.
You can't sit with us.
Although I think it is funny that she can like eavesdrop on conversations a lot easier because she's like Fae and can hide her presence a little more than when she was human. So that's fun.
Yeah, like that whole conversation that happens, like where Ianthe is talking, she's like, "This is a bad idea," and Lucian's like, "It's a bad idea either way."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all happening very far away from her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
it just feels like I was like before that happened, like the big thing. I was like the entire time I was like, dude, that's so suffocating. Like you're not privy to conversations that involve you that directly affect you. You're stuck in the house. Your only time that you can leave the house is when you trade prisons. Literally, like yes, like Reset isn't like an awful person to her right now, but like
she don't want to be there.
but she doesn't want to be there. She has to be there. And she's still technically only going. It's not like she's going out of her free will. It's like she's there because she has to uphold something and she's bound by like magical law or whatever. So she's prisoner in Resen's place. She's a prisoner here. Girl is a prisoner everywhere.
And in her own mind.
And in her own mind. She can't even deal with it by doing art. Anyways.
And then the lockup. The scene. So, when I originally read this, Book Talk wasn't a thing, but Bookstagram was. So, I'm on Bookstagram, and I see everywhere, Tamlin does this terrible thing. Tamlin's an awful person. Tamlin's a villain. Tamlin does something awful. And I'm like, fuck, he kills her entire family.
Literally.
I'm like, oh my god.
Decapitates them.
Literally, I was like, he like blows up someone. Like, he bombs their house. And then I get to this part, and he goes, you can't come with me. And then walks out, and I'm like,
and locks her in the house.
I was like, what? Like, bad thing. I know. I'm aware. I know that's bad.
You were like hyping it up.
But I thought he bombed someone.
He massacred a village or something.
So I'm like, literally, all of this stuff that I'm seeing, and then I get to there, and I'm like, so when does he do the bad thing?
See, I guess I can see it. I can see why it's such an awful thing, just because I felt the suffocation coming from like a mile away.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
And then I was like, and then she compared it to Under the Mountain, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Because they talk about it before, how she can't go in certain rooms of the house because it's too suffocating, and because like she can't handle it. And then he throws up a wall around the house because he doesn't realize that she can't go in certain rooms because of that.
He's also just not been paying attention to it.
Yeah, because he's dumb. And so then she like has a panic attack because she can't leave. Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot.
Also, can we talk about how like when Moore carried her down into the cave, she just had to keep like chanting, "You're free. You're free."
Not safe. You're free.
That hurt. I was like, oh, that's a little kick to it. I was like, damn. Can you imagine? She's just like holding this like very like traumatized young girl. She's young. She's like what, 19? She's this young girm. Like what is it? What's like ancient?
900.
Yeah, she's
Her and
holding.
Reese are about the same age.
She's like holding this young girl, and the young girl is like traumatized, on the verge of a breakdown, like an actual
breakdown.
And she's going, "You're okay. You're free. You're free. I got you out. You're good. You're free. You're free." And the girl's still panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how terrifying that is? As an adult to be like
With the ring.
As an adult to be looking at a kid and seeing the kid completely losing their mind. And
She's like strong as fuck. I don't know why that was like the one thing going through my brain during the scene. I was like, damn, she got muscles.
Well, Farrah's also like bone thin.
But she got muscles because dead weight goes crazy.
And someone who's thrashing too.
Mm-hmm. She got mommy muscles.
Poor girl.
Mommy
She's
muscles.
really going through it.
Mommy Moore.
I kind of felt
Mommy
bad
more,
for her.
they're mommy muscles. I don't know. I did really like the fact that she writes in there like not safe, not like protected, free.
Mm-hmm.
You're free, and I was like,
Finally.
stop it. That one has a kick.
That was like that one has a little kick. I think that was the first time in the story where I was like, oh, that is a little kick.
Oops. And then we're in like I don't know is where this house is that they keep going to in the beginning. I don't know. Is it the house
They
of
can
Wynn?
because they can winnow into
Yeah, so
it.
it's not the house of Wynn.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know if it ever comes back up.
The house they go to?
Yeah, that like every time they have the meeting, the weekly meeting.
Oh, it's not the house of Worms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it ever comes back.
Oh,
I don't know where the fuck
it's
this
like a
is.
secret door. I think it's like a castle.
Yeah, it's like somewhere else. It's a little.
Just a random house. Like
It's
an
another
outhouse.
place built into a mountain because we needed 3 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an outhouse.
They're just living their Shrek lives.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then she melted the ring when she had like the panic attack inside, and then she's like, "So I'm no longer engaged."
Mm-hmm.
And Reese is
Queen.
like, "Go, girl!"
You
Thank
go,
God.
girl. You don't have to go back if you don't want to.
He's like, "You can stay here forever."
He literally offered
Stay
her
here
freedom.
forever.
The bare minimum! But he offered it to her.
So kind of him. He's giving her a choice. Because that man loves choices.
He does love his choices.
He loves them.
Y'all scare me that every single
He
time.
just loves choices.
No.
Like, no.
I know this is a reference to something that I'm gonna get in a later chapter.
They've already
You're
said
already
it.
starting to get it. Like,
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
he just choices. Like, that's what
His whole thing is
Oh, okay.
choices.
I thought it was gonna be a word like choice, and I was gonna be like, I was gonna
It's
realize.
popped up a lot. Every time he like has a conversation with her, he's like, "You can stay or you can go, but it's
Your
your choice.
Literally every time.
Wait, you can go to bed or you can go upstairs. You can meet my friends, but it's
Your
your
He's
choice."
sad about it anyway. And you know what he doesn't do? Explode.
Yeah.
He just forms wings. When he gets angry, he has
I think
wings.
it's so funny that, like, literally every single time he gets mad, just
it's
like, do you know that one? Do you know the Barbie is secret? Very secret, and then like Ken gets kidnapped
And he's
by
like-
the girl, and then and like the tiny little wings come out. That's literally what I see every time.
I can't get over the word membranous. I hate it.
I don't like that
Yeah.
word.
I hate it so much, and she
Like,
uses it so
a
much.
lot.
And I'm like, can we use a different word? Can we use
I don't like that word.
like transparent, veiny? I don't know. Anything but membranous over and over and over again.
See, I don't know if I like veiny.
But is it not better than
Membranous.
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
and over again?
She reuses a lot of adjectives.
She does, but so do I.
Yeah, I was noticing that while reading it. I was like, oh, it's
I
she
also-
said this word a good 6 times in one chapter.
That's so me.
Mhm.
That's so
And
me, Cora.
it's fine for like a first or second draft for the published novel. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this because of the novel. I'm doing this because of the food.
I was reading my workshop earlier because my fiction workshop, and I think I wrote the word strolled like 6 times. Every time the girl walked, she was strolling.
She was strolling.
Because like walked didn't give the same vibe, but she wasn't stalking, and she wasn't prowling, and she wasn't. What's the other one that starts with an S? I don't know the other one.
Slinking?
What?
Slinking?
Slinking. The other one that also there's another one that starts with an S that
Yeah.
isn't strolled, but it's like also. It's
Stalk,
whatever.
slink.
Shuffling.
No, it's
No,
like it's
I
a
think
swagger.
It's like a s-
I don't know, but it's one of those. It wasn't any of those. It was a stroll. So I like kept using it. Anyway, so Sarah J. Maas and I, we understand.
I feel like repeated adjectives is fine. Repeated phrases is not. So like
incarnate.
made a beeline. If I saw that multiple times in the same chapter, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you
being these
The
lines?
thing is that it's not even the thing is it's not just like individual words. It's individual pairs of words, which is not really considered a phrase. Like it's not like made a beeline, but it's like I can't.
Membranous wings.
When I see membranous wings multiple times, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
please come up with another adjective. This is really annoying.
Death incarnate. Light incarnate. Something else incarnate. She loves the
Something
word
of
incarnate.
Starlight.
Buttery sunlight.
That was crazy.
If I have
That
to
was
read
crazy.
buttery sunlight one more time, not only she wasn't the one who did it.
Oh, okay.
It was-
I was like, I only saw it once.
I only saw, yeah, no, that was the only one. Buttery Sunlight, Alex Astor and Lightlark used it like 45 times, I think, in one chapter. And I was like,
just like buttery sunlight.
and I was like, I really could not. So when I saw it here, I was like, already, like, I was like, I can't do the Buttery Sunlight. Please never
No.
mention it again.
No.
She only mentioned it once, which wasn't a big deal. But Alex Astor mentioned it like multiple times. And it's not that like the adjectives themselves are reused, it's just like 2 specific phrase words are like put together.
Yeah, the
And
couples.
And they're always together, and that's what bothers me. But continue.
No, what happens after that? They show up in the. Oh, I know where we are.
Give some choices.
So he's like, choices, and then he's like, you want to go to Valeris? And she's like, I want to go to Valeris. And he's like, you can't tell nobody.
Like,
Okay,
let
well,
them
let's
know,
backtrack. I had no idea. Let's backtrack a little. I did not know what Valeris was.
You're not supposed to.
For those who don't know, it's a secret city. So, cool. But first of all, he kind of just trusted her.
He goes, you want to go?
No, correction. He goes, I have business to attend to. And she goes, can I go with you? And then he goes, sure, but you can't tell anyone.
Nobody.
And she was like, expecting him to say no, because you know who said no? Her bitch ass ex-fiance. But anyways.
Almost like they're foils.
But I feel like he definitely made it like very clear that if she like crossed this line, that it was
she was not coming back.
She was not coming back, and she was essentially saying that she would not come back to Tamlin.
Yeah, I kind of like that there.
Because
Yeah.
she like very much accepted that if she learned these secrets or whatever, she
Yeah.
was like, I'm not going back for a while.
Because even before, when she has that like that moment where she's like, I would have felt pity for Rhysand had I not known that like I'm going back to Tamlin. Like it's like that moment comes back and she like breaks it and she goes, I'm gonna just like step over this line. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go fucking Valeris. And then they go to a townhouse. We're in a townhouse.
We are.
This is like basically Valeris.
Yeah,
Where are
missing.
We're just Tallahassee.
We're just
Tallahassee, Florida is Valeris.
we're just missing.
Jordan
this-
Travis is
Jordan Travis. Hold on now. Wasn't he in Arizona?
No, that's Slay Benson.
Oh.
Slay
New
Benson
York.
is he's in
the
New York.
He's in the
No.
Jets.
I just don't know any of the names of the new ones, so he's all I got.
We'll get there.
He's the most popular figure, unless we go Ronald DeSantis, but that would be
Oh!
that would
Oh! I don't want Ronald DeSantis in our house.
be, no, as in the Tallahassee, the city of
I don't know, Haley. I think you're pretty famous.
Ronald.
I was like the city of. I was like trying to think of the city of Starlight, and then I was like, what are we?
The city of.
What? The city of.
Oh, that was a good one.
City of chlamydia, indeed. City of alcohol.
Oh, party school.
City of
Parties.
party. City of frat. I don't know.
City of
Anyway.
Anyways, continue.
This is my favorite Valeris. What do you mean? And then our little bros that show up at the door and they're like,
I love him.
they're like, I'm home from jail.
No, okay.
Come home, bastard.
I actually think I know something about Cassian, which is really interesting because I didn't know anything about any other character except I think I know something about Cassian, but I don't want to be so wildly wrong that
I have no idea
no.
What you're
I just
referring to.
see. I thought Cassian was a character from another book.
There's a
unrelated to this
Castiel that you might be thinking of from another book.
No, it's not Cassian.
Okay.
It's Cassian. It's Cassian because I remember that I was naming something in my own book and I considered Cassius, but that was too close to Cassian and I didn't like that. I didn't want that connection to be made. But
Cassian, my fave.
so I think I know something about Cassian regarding something. But and now that unfortunately now that I'm getting longer into the series, I'm starting to remember things that I used to see on TikTok that I like ignored and just watched to watch. And so now I'm starting to remember things. Nothing concrete, but some things.
Mm-hmm.
That was extremely vague. But I like him.
I love Cassian.
He seems like Lucian, but like older.
Cassian's always been my fave, but she likes Azriel.
Azriel.
Mr. Personality of a rock.
Yes.
He's getting a personality, guys. It's fine.
Singer.
Is he
so-
just now getting a personality?
Yeah, like book 4.
Well, he's always had a personality. Haley just like skipped over it because it's in like gestures and movements that he does rather than
He has
words.
a I'm standing in the corner and I'm really angry, so my everything's gonna be all dark and spooky personality.
No.
Which he's chill as fuck. He's
Well,
very funny.
Haley is just making him sound very bad to you,
I'm-
but I
Elijah?
promise you'll like him.
Like Elijah? No.
He's funny. He has good one-liners.
I like the one
But he's like just now starting to like come into like a fully formed character and not just like a tag along with Cassian, because that's how they kind of work.
besties.
They're besties. They're besties for the besties.
Well, they're all besties, but
Because
like
they're best friends. They're like brothers' best friends.
oh, that's kind of cute.
So like
If I get into this, I'm totally gonna try and find a fanfic where they're like about their brother friendship thing.
they're so brothers,
I can totally see myself doing
but he's like
that. I hope I don't go down that line.
because Cassian's very brash and loud. Like Asriel kind of gets covered up a little bit.
Oh, I'm gonna like
And so, but it's not that he's covered up in the sense of like in the book he's covered up. It's that Sarah overshadows him.
No, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna end up liking him.
So everyone really likes him because they can just make shit up about him, and they're like, guys, Ezreal's just so cool, and I bet he'd do this, and this thing. And it's like, guys, I love you. He has stood in the corner this entire time.
I'd actually think
he hasn't.
I think I'd make him sad. I just think, which I can't do that.
He is a sad little dude sometimes.
Yeah,
He's just emo.
Oh, really?
He's
He's
emo.
about my
for a
favorite.
while.
He's
about my
emo. He
favorite.
stands in. I mean, maybe not the corner. Maybe he's just like out there, but he stands very still and just watches. He's a watcher.
I kind of like those characters.
He's
Anyways,
a watcher with his one-liners.
I kind of like those characters. Those end up usually be my favorite characters, actually.
And then Amryn. Amryn is spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she seems cool though.
She's a tiny little lady. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Moore, who's just also still there. What do you think about Amryn and Moore being his second and third?
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The way that she was like a woman, and I was like, hold on, Moore's really cool. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I actually really like that. I think I was like, oh,
Because Reese, he likes choices and he likes feminism.
He likes
yeah,
women.
it was like his two women.
He likes women.
Number 2 and number 3, and I was like, okay.
To be fair, Cassian and Azrael could not handle that.
No, they could not.
I don't-
That is too much pressure for
I
them.
don't know them that well, but
They could not handle that.
I feel like what's her
Up
name?
in flames
Amryn?
immediately.
Was it Amryn?
Amryn.
Yeah.
Amryn would be like an obvious choice for number 2. Girl's old as fuck.
She's hella.
And
She's
extremely
elderly.
powerful.
She knows
Like,
everything.
Reese being like, I've only interrupted her once and
Bro, what did you do?
I think it spilled something.
what was I saying? Oh, Reese has only interrupted her once in the last century.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and it's slightly scared of her.
Yeah.
TBH, me too, honestly. And then they do their little walk around the city where Feyre's like, damn, you protected all these people? Loser.
Okay, at least she acknowledged that she was being childish. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
after a moment, I was like, girl, you're really annoying the fuck out of me. Like, I understand your rage because it's understandable,
Mm-hmm.
but also, why are you mad that some people survived and are safe?
And they didn't have to go through the trauma that you went through, that other people
And
went
also, he's the High Lord. It makes complete sense. I'm so sorry that he cares more about his own people than Tamlin's people.
through.
Because it's Tamlin's job to protect his own people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's literally everyone for himself. And if everyone hates Rhysand because of unspeakable things he's done, then it's really
Spooky little
just...
man.
It's because, like,
Fend
the
for
president
yourself.
of America is not going to worry about the safety of the people of Australia. Like, it's like
Not the kangaroos!
it's up to the Australian president to protect them and deal with whatever problems they're having.
So-
It's not the
And also, it's said that he sacrificed something extremely great to get it. And everyone's a little scared to talk about it. So, and I'm like, also, it's not like he's been dilly-dallying for the last 50 years. Sir's been
Dillying and dallying.
Sir's been a prisoner, and he's been fucked against as well, and he's been doing all these different shit for the last 50 years. And so why, I understand why, like, she admits she's childish, I'm not actually angry with her.
Yeah.
But it was just that one moment where I was like, well, I understand, but, like, it's not like they got it for free.
It is not that deep, girl boss.
It's not like it was something that, like, they, like, lucked out on. Because it wasn't luck. Like, he literally had to give something up to do it, and whatever. There's a reason it hasn't been invaded in, like, 5,000 years.
And then they go to dinner.
Also-
and they fly.
She said something citrusy, and I was like, why is everyone a fruit?
Oh, Sarah loves her fruit scent.
I was like,
loves
why
fruit
does
scents.
everyone smell like a fruit?
Well, 'cause she says more is like citrus and cinnamon, right? That's
Yeah.
what it was. Well, they're cousins, so
Yeah.
I would
So
assume.
citrusy.
Bound by lemon. But the thing is, I was, I said he's literally cosplaying Aladdin when he took her to dinner. I can show you the world. Yeah, I was like, wow, all we're missing is the cute little music.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is what they do. And she's like, "Don't drop me," and he's like, "I won't drop you," and I'm like,
It was actually really funny because she was drawing this comparison where she was like, oh, I have to dress all nice and dandy because, you know, if it's anything like a spring court when I met the people and they have to, like, all dress, it would be so fucking funny.
They're all in
she showed up
pajamas.
and they're all, like, really chill. They're like, okay, just a little much.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh,
"Someone bring me a pair of pajama pants, please."
because it was kind of, I mean, I don't think it's what's going to happen. I think they're all
I don't
gonna-
remember.
I think they're all going to be dressed normally, but, like, just her like she's in like this, like very like a low cut neck and like
Yeah.
it's just like looks really like a sexy queen type shit. And everyone is just like, okay, well that's a little much.
That's a bit.
We're just having lunch. We haven't seen him in a few years.
Yeah.
Just want to talk, catch up.
Yeah. No, and then they like turn around and they're there, and then
They do the 5K.
yeah, they do the little
That was cute.
yeah, they have their little game that they play, and she's like, I think I was a fool, and Reese's like, tee,
That actually kind of made me sad.
tee.
Looking.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? She's just like, I've just like, she was like, I covered up every single red flag, and I was like, girl, do I have the album for you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got you.
I got you, girl.
And that is the end of 11 through 15.
Yeah.
Predictions, Alan?
Oh, I have no clue. I'm like going by like, I'm like writing this like a random like, I have no idea.
Isn't it interesting how this book is so much less predictable than the first book? How it's like a complete vibe switch.
Yeah. Also, it's like significant. I still think I'd give it like so far like 3 stars. Like not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the 1 star you gave Akatar. So
Yeah, I hated Akasa. That was really bad. I really
Yeah.
did not like that one. This one's like 3 stars, 2.5 if I'm like being like negative, and then like 3 stars if I'm being like
Positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because I do enjoy it. I'm still not on board with a lot of the writing style, but I think that's just
it's just Sarah how she
just
writes.
the
Yeah.
writing style. It's not really like a take on the book, but
Mhm.
I like this one a lot. I think every character's a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot more depth.
Yeah, that was like finally she like okay because again like I mentioned last episode I was like I understand that like she was coming into her own in the first book and the second book, but you should have a personality in book 1, even if you're gonna like go through a big change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like there should be some sort. The metamorphosis can occur even if you like start off at a completely different point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
'cause it's just like the thing of where it like there's just a lot more going on, and that we as the reader, along with Feyre, get to see more of this world, whereas she was kept out of it purposely, so we were kept
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah,
So
but I
it's
just think that
a
for
lot
like
more interesting.
storytelling narrative for the first, it just completely weakened the first book.
Yeah,
Made great for the second book, but weakened the like if I wasn't doing this podcast, I would not have read on past book 1.
yeah.
I would have just been like, fuck, I was bad.
That's being like, have you read today?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So,
Mhm.
I like a lot. I like Fair a lot more than I liked her before.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if I liked Risa like 10% in book 1, I like him like 25 right now, like 25%.
You got it.
Nessa's still my favorite for some reason. I don't know. Maybe she hasn't even been.
It's
here.
because she hasn't been there long enough for you to scrutinize
Yeah, I
her.
can't screw it.
Yeah.
I screw it. I feel like she's gonna pop eventually. And so when she pops up and she has more of a character point, I'm gonna be like, oh, I might change my mind. But right now, Nessa's my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and it's yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Slay.
Slay.
Thank you for
Join us
joining.
next time.
Next week will be 16 through 20. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.